They want to believe in the fantasy because the fantasy is more interesting.
Right.
It's more interesting, isn't it?
Yep.
It's more interesting to think there was a huge, there was a huge conspiracy to beat Trump in the thing. They want to believe that he's a brave, tough guy, that he would have been the greatest general ever, and he's the biggest deal maker. They want to believe it. It doesn't matter what you say to him. I keep listening to the orange idiots talking about tariffs and they're bringing money into the country. I'll give you a real example. I've got a company. We sell stuff on Amazon FBA. We're now going to go international and we're going to sell in the USA. So I'm pricing this product for the USA. And guess what? I find out what the tariff is from China because we're manufacturing in China like so many other people. And I add it on to the end price. Right? So the consumer in America will pay that tariff. Now, if the tariff reduces, you can be damn sure I'm not taking it off because that would look stupid.
Right.
So they're even paying an inflated price.
Yeah.
I'm getting more profit from the tariff. And if the tariff increases, you can be damn sure I'll increase the price.
Sure.
The consumer is paying. That's how everybody will price it, with the tariff included as a cost to be passed on to consumers.
Why is it, Paul, that so many MAGA Republicans don't seem to understand how these tariffs will not only hurt people like you, but they will hurt the American consumer? Why is it so hard for these MAGA Republicans to understand how tariffs work?
Well, Brian, I think they do. I just don't think they dare tell Trump he's talking like a twat. I mean, he said the other day about the $88 billion at the bottom of the budget. Yeah. And he said, somebody called me up and said, sir, his sir stories, which are always lies. Why have we got more money than we should have? And, you heard that story. And Trump says, well, look at the tariff line.
Yep.
It was like the guy boasting about passing a dementia test. He's done it 1,000 times. And nobody says to him, excuse me, that's a dementia test, not an IQ test, dummy. And the tariffs are paid by the consumer. You're not bringing money into the country. You're taxing the American.
So as somebody in the UK, let me ask you this. Do you think that it's just so many Americans are stupid? Or do you think that they're selfish, or both? Like, from your perspective in the UK, why do you think they're okay with this?
That's a really good question, because I think about this a lot, and I've been thinking about it since 2015. I think America has extremes. It's always been a country of extremes. So you'll have the greatest scientists, the greatest brains. Einstein came to America, for example. You'll also have the dumbest people. You have the sort of person who thinks WWE wrestling's real. You've got those people. So I think you've got the two extremes, but you've got more of those extremes. I'm sure, as I understand it, literacy in America is very low generally. So I think you have a lot of dumb people and you have a lot of brilliant people.
I think that's very interesting. Paul, when I was 8 or 9 years old, I thought it was the WWF back then. When I was 8 or 9 years old, I thought that wrestling was real. And then I finally figured it out at about 10 or 11 years old. So I said, Dad, I think this is fake. That's when I stopped watching the WWF. But yeah, you're right. There are adults our age that still think wrestling is real. You're right. They're very stupid.
I mean, the wrestling always made me laugh. So I once went on a chat and I spoofed to the guys on the chat. They're all grown-ups. And they were complaining. Some of them were complaining that the good guy, it was unfair because all the bad guys came along, knocked out the referee, beat him up, and hit him with a chair and all that stuff, the thing. And then when the referee wakes up, they put the arm over him, and the bad guy wins. And they're saying this is not fair, and they're all swearing at each other. And I said, I tell you what, guys, let's all send videos in to the Wrestling Federation and prove to them that they cheated. So let's prove, we all saw it. Let's prove them that whatever it was, Hulk Hogan, whoever it was, cheated. We'll prove it, and then we'll get the result overturned. And these guys on the chat turned on me. They were furious with me for pointing out something so obvious.
Can I point this out? Those people that were chastising you and that think wrestling is real are the same people that think Donald Trump won the 2020 election.
Yes, Brian, this is 100% the issue. They prefer to believe in the pantomime. They want to believe in the fantasy because the fantasy is more interesting.
Right.
It's more interesting, isn't it? It's more interesting to
Yep.
think there was a huge, there was a huge conspiracy to beat Trump in the thing. They want to believe that he's a brave, tough guy, that he would have been the greatest general ever, and he's the biggest deal maker. They want to believe it. It doesn't matter what you say to him. You can show him. I've got, unfortunately, somebody in my family who thinks that, believe it or not. And I don't talk to him at the moment, but somebody in my family, and I could send him video after video. I could send him the videos of Trump on the radio show talking about what he did at the changing rooms and blah, 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 blah. I can do all that. He doesn't care.
Let me tell you something, Paul. And I don't know if your member of your family would do this, but I'm going to be honest with you, Paul. You could have Donald Trump on video sodomizing a child on video. And there are still a large percentage, in my estimation, of his base that would still support him. That just goes. They're sick. They're sick cultists. These people. They're cultists and they're sick.
100%. They would say Joe Biden set him up, or they'd say it wasn't real.
The deep state. Yeah, deep state.
Fake news. We've heard it all before. It's the easiest thing in the world. You can't argue with these people. No. It's pointless trying to use logic against them.
You can't. No Paul, logic. You're right on the money, my friend. Great to hear from you, Paul. I appreciate you, my friend. You're right on the money as always. Great phone call, and I appreciate you.